We're actually starting the second day of the World Assembly with a very special session. So this special session is on the Middle East and North Africa women as peacemakers, a conversation. So to begin this session, we would like to call our moderator. Please welcome on stage Reverend Bishop Petra Boss-Huber, the Bishop of Evangelical Church in Germany, and join in as well in welcoming our speakers for this special session.
Thank you. Wherever you want. Please. Please take your seat. Dear audience, eminences and excellences, good morning. It is a great honor and pleasure for me to be the moderator of this morning's session. My name is Petra Bosse-Huber. I'm a bishop of the Protestant churches in Germany, of the EKD, and I'm responsible for the international and interreligious relations worldwide. Welcome to this special session about Middle East and North African women, peacemakers, as it is announced in our program. So, what makes this session so special? First of all, of course, the women. Here on stage, you can see them all, gathered here for this special session. Very active, very committed, and very fascinating women if you get to know them a little bit better, if you see their biographies and their developments. Coming from different religious traditions, Sunni, Shia, Coptic Orthodox, and Jewish, and coming from very different countries, Iraq, Bahrain, Egypt, and Tunisia. So 3 of them joined a trip to Jordan earlier this month and will be able to tell us a little bit more later when we will see a video clip about this journey. What else does make this session a special one? You might think it is the topic itself, women as peacemakers. So the question arises, is there a special skill? Is there a special tool that women have and can use to foster peace? We might have time later to discuss it a little bit deeper. Just another remark. There are researches showing that the stability and prosperity of a society, and that obviously includes the peacefulness of a society, are also depending on the way women are involved and represented in public life and in public responsibilities. And a final remark before I'm happy to introduce this wonderful 4 women here. It is definitely not a special session in terms of the overall topic of the World Assembly. Caring for our common future, advanced shared well-being. Since there cannot be a common future without including different perspectives, different religious concepts, and different experiences. Be it from men or women, from old or young people, from rich or poor, from which cultural background ever. From this point of view, women ought to be encouraged to become peacemakers just as anyone else in this room and in the world. We should be encouraged to do so. Having said this, let me now introduce to you our four panelists. There is Mehersia Labidi Maïtza from Tunisia. She is a Muslim woman of Sunni tradition and honorary president of Religions for Peace. In October 2011, Mehersia Labidi Maïtza was elected to the Constituent Assembly of Tunisia as a representative of the movement Ennahda in the constituency of France. In November 2011, she became the first vice president of the assembly, and in 2012, Labidi Maïtza was described as the most senior elected woman in the Middle East. She was elected to the Assembly of the Representative of the People in the Tunisian parliamentary election in October 2014, in the second-level district of Naboil in northeast Tunisia. She is an active member of the Tunisian government and led their Committee for Women, Family, Children and the Elderly. She holds many conferences on education in multicultural societies, on women, religion and society, and all within her involvement with Religions for Peace. She has been a chair of the Global Women of Faith Network since 2006. In 2009, she became a member of the European Council of Religious Leaders. Welcome here. Laila Al-Kafayi from Iraq is a Muslim woman of the Shia tradition and member of the International Women's Coordinating Committee of Religions for Peace. Ms. Laila Al-Kafayi spent a decade in prison after refusing to join Saddam Hussein's Ba'ath Party. She escaped to Toronto in 1994 and started with her brother a newspaper in 1995 to reveal the continued suffering of the Iraqi people under Saddam Hussein. She returned to Iraq after Hussein's fall to join the newly reformed government as an Iraqi parliament member. Al-Kafayi actively works to improve the status of women in Iraq and has represented her organization before the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women. She is also an elected member of the Political Bureau of the Al-Hikmah movement, as well as a former international relations director of the Al-Hakim Foundation. Al-Hakim Foundation adopted the Islamic Day of Anti-Violence Against Women and has been an instrument Iraqi civil society leaders use in combating violence against women. Welcome here. Nabila Makram from Egypt is a Coptic Orthodox Christian woman and also representing the Middle East Council of Churches. Ms. Nabila Makram is the Minister of Immigration and Egyptian Expatriates Affairs. She was sworn in September 2015. Makram studied political science at Cairo University, graduating in 1991. The minister joined the diplomatic circuit and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in 1993. She worked as Assistant Secretary of State for European Affairs, and in 1997, she was the third secretary in the Egyptian embassy in Brazil, and the second secretary in the Egyptian Council in Chicago in the United States in 2004. She continued her diplomatic work as first secretary at the Egyptian Embassy of Rome in Italy in 2007. She also represented Egypt as vice consul at the Egyptian Council in Dubai in 2013. Welcome to you. Huda Esra Nono is a Jewish woman from Bahrain. Ms. Huda Esra Nono was appointed to be the ambassador of Bahrain to the United States by King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa in 2008. This was the first appointment by an Arab country of a Jewish ambassador. She was appointed in 2006 in Bahrain's upper house, the Consultative Council. She was a founding member and elected as Secretary General of Bahrain's Human Rights Watch Society in 2004. She is also on the advisory forum of King Abdullah International Center of Intercultural and Interreligious Dialogue since 2018. Her Jewish Iraqi ancestors have a strong reputation of educational and civil service in Bahrain. She earned a BA in accounting from London's City University and an MBA from the International University of Europe in Watford. Welcome, welcome to all of you. So let us begin with a reflection on that mentioned trip to Jordan earlier this month. A consultation in preparation of the World Assembly's themes, learning more about Jordan's efforts to advance the status of women, meeting with stakeholders and Syrian and Jordanian women who are currently in training to become entrepreneurs, dealing with gender equality and ending discrimination against women, promoting equal opportunities, including all the questions of discrimination. Having a roundtable discussion with refugees and host communities in Jordan. Let us get a glimpse of that, showing the video clip now.
Common ground is empowering women, giving them a role, and making them agent of change in this world. And our world really needs change. These are women in solidarity between Jordanian and Syrian women, and they are backing each other's, offering them the opportunity to work, to rent a house, and to educate the children.
ما حسيت لا بغربة ولا حسيت بشيء يعني الحمد لله. وكمان أنا أحب أطور حالي. إن شاء الله تطلع رح طول حالي.
إني أصير محترفة بروفيشنال على مستوى العالم كله.
كثير عنا أحلام وكل الناس عم تحلم، بس هلا أكثر شيء إنه أنا أتميز بشغلي مع ذوي الاحتياجات الخاصة.
They are doing an amazing job. They have a hope. They are fantastic ladies. I love them very much.
I'm a woman, yes, but I want to do things for other people. It doesn't matter whether they're women or men.
Are we equal? We will be equal if we get this much education about what's my right in Islam.
Together, united, in solidarity, to empower each other.
We are here to listen to their stories and to be inspired by their stories. Truly, some of them are doing revolutions in their societies.
For those of you who joined the consultation in Jordan earlier this month, I would like to ask you, was there something like a special experience? Something you have learned during this trip, you have seen, you have listened to people? Please, share your experiences with us. Who would like to begin? Maybe you can begin, and then you will hear you.
First of all, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May God peace be with you and above you and around you this morning. First of all, I had to express, first of all, my gratitude to Religions for Peace for allowing this visit to be a reality, to come. To this dream, a collective dream of these women from MENA and region. And of course, I extend my gratitude and thanks to Jordanian authorities and the Jordanian civil society for welcoming us and offering us this unique opportunity to meet with these women, wonderful women. They are Jordanian, Syrian, and you know that in Jordan they are welcoming the other,
yes.
The other in need, the other who needs refuge, rebuilding their lives and recreating hope, not only from Syria, but from Iraq, from Yemen, and from many other countries. So it's really here I want to greet and to thank these Jordanians for doing this. And what we noticed in this structure welcoming these women is the solidarity. Solidarity between these women, young and less young, Jordanian and not Jordanian, and there is a unity of hope and of work. Rasha, the lady we saw in the video, she has 4 children, and her husband was not able to come with her to Jordan. He is still in Syria, and she is a refugee. And she left the camp for the sake of her children's education. It was very difficult for her to leave because she has to rent a house, to have a job. But she said, I want to offer education for my children because the future is going to be better. Yes. And I want them to be ready when they will be back to their country to have education. This is wonderful. Hope, while she is striving for life. And she found this organization and all her friends from Jordanian women and other Syrian refugees women to work together, and she's producing food and selling food. This is, I think, maybe seems a simple story. For me, it's a heroic story. It's a wonderful story.
Thank you so much. What were your insights you brought back?
First of all, Assalamu alaikum jami'an. Peace be upon you all. Hello, everyone. I want to thank the larger family for me, Religion for Peace, for the big opportunity to bring MENA women together, women of faith, the peacemaker, peace builder in Jordan. It was a very nice experience. It was really a unique experiment for me, at least, to say the least, about that. I hope my voice reaching. That's okay, thank you. It was a very good experience to go there. And it surprised me how the world is very small when we get together. That's number one. Number two, we women, it seems, share the same difficulties, no matter where we come from, what faith we have, what culture we are in, the hardship and the difficulties we have in peace or in conflict, let alone an area or region which have similarities and which being considered in between bracket region of conflicts. So when we were there, I figured out we could see the problems, especially for me in Iraq, because we have shelters, we have hundreds of thousands of people still displaced from their places because of the conflict from 2003 till now. We could look from different angles. And in Jordan, because they have also people from Syria and run from the conflict area, the way they deal, like the women, they are in these shelters or in the communities to deal with their environment, to deal with their situation. When we look at it, I could not cloning the same tools and the same way to take it back home, but we could look from different angles. It could sparkle in my mind or in my heart how to take this to my country to improve also the situation of women there. The other thing is getting together, like women of different faith, to come together and to communicate, from Jewish, from like different school of thought. For me, it wasn't very new experience, because in Iraq, we are a country of diversity, and it's not a diversity, limited diversity. We call the society in Iraq a flower boutique or a mosaic of Iraqi society. We have Muslims of different school of thought, Sunni and Shia. We have Arab and Kurds and Turkmen. We have Yazidis, Shabakis, Sabi'is. We have different, like they are, each one of the component of our society, it's like a flower with different color, different smell. If one of these flowers missed from this boutique, the place of that flower will be blank, can't be filled by any other component. And what's unique for me, the hardship and the conflict in my country doesn't affect one flower, it affects the whole society. Yes, maybe in the time of Saddam Hussein, it attacked maybe one or two of the components of the society because they are the majority maybe. But after 2003, the conflict happened, it affected all these flowers. And because of that, we get united. We get united because we know what's our enemy there. By unified, we were able to defeat Daesh in 2014. And by getting MENA Women in Jordan as well, when we get together, we exchange the experience, we figure out different faith doesn't mean we have to have conflict. Different faith, we look on things from different angles. I was with my sister who is Sunni. I was with my sister who is Jewish. and with other women, Christian, and other faith, and other diversity. So no matter what, hardship should get women together to look from different angles, bring their experience to enrich their thinking and to enrich their tools to deal with issues in their country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Laila. Please. And thank you for that wonderful picture. It's our privilege to see the flower boutique of Religions for Peace sitting there.
That's why I said it's my larger family.
It is. It's a larger family. You are right. But also you, Huda, you were part of the journey, and maybe you had also some insights you could share with us.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you to Religions for Peace for including me in this session here, and also in Jordan. And also thanks to Adian and, I can't remember the name, Finnish Church Aid. That's right, Finnish Church Aid. Jordan was a great experience. The discussions that we had as women around the table were very beneficial, and like Leila said, wherever we are, we have challenges, and we came together and we put our challenges on the table, and we could move forward with that. The experience meeting with the Jordanians and the Syrians in the charity organization was very touching. Seeing these women who have major challenges come out and try to improve themselves and improve their livelihood was something really nice to see. What really bothered me was the fact that there was an age limit. It was from 18 to 35. So anyone over the age of 35 could not participate in this organization and get funding. They were being helped, but not financially. Mm-hmm. So I think something needs to be done for the older group as well, because 35, you're still young. Mm-hmm. You still have a lot to achieve. So that's what I'd like something to come out for the older women in the Syrians and the Jordanians, where we can help them out. So it's, overall, I think it was an amazing experience.
Thank you, thank you. And maybe you want to add something? Yes, please.
I want all our friends who participated with us, who are making MENA Women with us here, who are in the room, to stand. I want to recognize you. Samira, please. Naila. Najia. Fadia, the other young Leila, I think. Okay, here, yes. These ladies, these wonderful ladies, are also members of MENA Women for Peace.
Thank you. So we have seen some of the faces of MENA. Thank you so much. But I think we can open the discussion and speak a little bit more about the experiences of women to become peacemakers. What is the unique role women can play? We have heard about your Jordan experience, but as well in your special field, in your own context. What is the special skill, the tools of women to become peacemaker? And maybe you could start now.
Good morning, and please allow me to speak in Arabic, so if you want to switch for the translation device. صباح الخير جميعا، وأنا سعيدة أن أنا موجودة النهاردة في مؤتمر Religions of Peace، وبشكر ويليام على كل الدعم والمساندة لإخراج هذا المؤتمر. زي ما باترا قالت bouquet of flowers، إحنا كلنا وردة مضيئة بكل الأشكال وبكل الألوان، إنما في النهاية كيان واحد. خليني أبدأ بالحديث كوزيرة مصرية في الحكومة المصرية. أنا هنا في هذا المؤتمر بمثل مجلس كنائس الشرق الأوسط، وخلوني طالما بنتكلم عن سيشن بتتكلم عن المرأة، فمجلس كنائس الشرق الأوسط الأمين العام لهذا المجلس هو سيدة الدكتورة سوريا بشعلاني، لها مني كل التحية بصفتها امرأة تدير هذا المجلس. وأيضا سير إيميلي منسقة برامج اللاهوت، فهي أيضا سيدة في هذا المجلس. فبنشوف إزاي دور المرأة، إزاي إن هو بيتفاعل وبيكبر، وبيتم اختيار وزيرة مصرية أيضا لتمثيل مجلس الكنائس. مجلس الكنائس اللي الحقيقة بأثمن على دوره في تدعيم المرأة. الحقيقة كل البرامج اللي بيقدمها المجلس من تدعيم للمرأة اللاجئة السورية العراقية الفلسطينية، المعالجة النفسية، التدريب على الحرف اليدوية، لأنه بالتأكيد كرامة الإنسان وكرامة المرأة ده شيء مهم جدا. وزيرة مصرية في الحكومة المصرية وامرأة، بالتأكيد هناك الكثير من التحديات، والتحديات كانت بالنسبة لي في بناء هذه الوزارة. وزارة الهجرة والمصريين في الخارج لم تكن موجودة، كانت ألغيت منذ 20 سنة، إنما جاء قرار القيادة السياسية بعودة هذه الوزارة مرة أخرى إلى الحكومة المصرية في 2015. كان بالتأكيد تحدي كبير جدا لامرأة وزيرة إنها تقوم بهذه المهمة في التواصل مع المصريين في الخارج في كل أنحاء المسكونة. ولكن عايزة أقول لحضراتكم إنه هذه الوزارة هي ملفاتها إنسانية بحتة. هذه ليست وزارة سياسية أو اقتصادية، ولكن بتعامل مع الإنسان، بتعامل مع المرأة، بتعامل مع البشر. فإذا رسالة المرأة في التدعيم، في التواصل، في خلق أواصر التواصل ما بين المصريين في الخارج بكافة طوائفهم، من العمالة في الخليج، من العلماء والخبراء، من المهاجرين غير شرعيين، وأيضا المرأة المهاجرة. بالتأكيد حضراتكم تذكروا الحادث الأليم اللي حصل في الجامع في نيوزيلندا، هذا الحادث الإرهابي في هذا الجامع اللي راح ضحيته الكثير أثناء تأدية الصلاة. والحقيقة كان لابد لوزيرة الهجرة إن هي تروح نيوزيلندا وتقف بجانب السيدات اللي فقدوا أزواجهم أثناء تأدية الصلاة. هذه الرسالة الإنسانية الهامة جدا اللي بتوري إن الدولة بتقف أيضا وراء السيدات المهاجرات في كل أنحاء العالم، بالتأكيد هي رسالة مهمة ورسالة يمكن جديدة. مصر الحقيقة باعتباري أيضا وزيرة للحكومة المصرية لابد أن أؤكد على تغيير الصورة الجديدة لمصر. مصر دلوقتي فيها الكثير من النماذج المضيئة، احنا بنسميها دلوقتي مصر الجديدة. مصر الجديدة اللي فيها التعايش السلمي وقبول الآخر والتعددية الفكرية، وإنه لابد من طبعا التثمين على دور المرأة المصرية. هناك 8 وزيرات مصريات في الحكومة المصرية، كل وزيرة الحقيقة بتطلع بملف دقيق. عندنا التخطيط، عندنا الاستثمار، عندنا السياحة، عندنا الصحة، عندنا الثقافة، عندنا البيئة، التضامن الاجتماعي. إذن دور المرأة في خدمة المجتمع وفي الإضافة، مع احترامنا الشديد للرجال، إنما المرأة بتعطي من روحها ومن قلبها في التعامل مع الملفات، فبتبدع وبتحط نفسها في هذه المسؤولية عشان تعطي the good image للمرأة في التعامل مع الملفات سواء السياسية أو الاقتصادية أو الاجتماعية.
Thank you, Nabila. And maybe we could speak about this mixture of personal and professional experiences to be a peacemaker, a female peacemaker.
From my experience with Religions for Peace in Europe or in the world, I learned a lot about how to bring people who maybe are remotely not able to speak to each other, how to sit together and how to speak of everything, of things that, let's say, are differences and maybe object of conflict, but also how to find together path of reconciliation. And this became, in a way, my asset, my culture. And then I moved to Tunisia, my country, I was living as an immigrant, so I experienced what to be a minority and an immigrant, and then I came back to my country, Tunisia, with a responsibility. The responsibility of being in a constituent assembly, vice chair, so in charge of running plenary sessions, and I chaired 67% of the session during which we voted the Constitution. Because the president of the assembly, of course, he has other missions. And I discovered, first of all, how valuable the culture and the experience I got as a woman with Religions for Peace is precious. Really valuable, because this capacity to dialogue, to listen, and to mediate, I used it to bring peace in my country. Indeed, in Tunisia, thanks God, we are a blessed country, because we do not have overt conflicts or armed conflicts, no. But in this transition, we got differences of idea, bipolarization of the society. Some people, everybody is dreaming about democratic and pluralistic Tunisia, yet the difficulty was how to build a common ground, a constitution for everybody. So conflicts are not only conflicts between communities, they may be conflicts of ideas, of conflicts about how to build a society, a just society, a harmonious society. And this is a challenge, a challenge, how to build peace through legislation, peace through constitution, peace through creating common rules,
yes, okay.
And through this transition towards democracy and citizenship and supremacy of the law. This is very important. And through this experience, I learned more how to not only welcome the other, but make him or her a room next to me, and give him a voice, and give him rights. This is very important. So the experience in Religions for Peace, from reconciliation, encountering the other, and the experience of peace building I had in Tunisia is how to build a democracy. And democracy means citizenship, means equality between men and women, and means also new laws to protect women. And we voted the law against violence against women, and also minorities, protecting minorities. I'm so proud that in our constitution, we mentioned the right for exile, first, and asylum for those who seek security and can be welcomed, like Germany has done for refugees these late years. And second, we also voted a law, I think it's the second law in Africa and the first law in Arab Muslim world against racism. Yeah. Against racism. And we voted it because some acts against our brothers and sisters from Africa who live in Tunisia, sub-Saharan Africa, who live in Tunisia, and they were victims of aggression. In our parliament, we voted law punishing any act, any word that is an expression of racism. So for me, peace building has different aspects, and women are equipped to do it because they have this sensitivity towards injustices, yes, towards being, let's say, discriminated against, and they develop together a capacity to speak of others without taking their voice, in leaving them their voice. And of course, I can conclude that religious values shall and have to meet human rights values. And this is also my experience in peace building in my country.
Thank you. Thank you. Maybe Huda first and then Laila. We change the order a little bit, if it's okay. We have heard Egyptian and Tunisian experience. What is your view from Bahrain?
Okay,
your personal view.
Okay, well, I'll speak about from the government side as well, like Nabila. Basically, I'll talk about women in Bahrain and some religious freedom, just very quickly, and then I'll tell you my personal view as well. So women in Bahrain have always had an important role in the society. They have the right to study. We had the first government school was in 1928, only Microphone, okay.
Louder.
I'll start again. So women of Bahrain have always played an important role in society. They had the right to study. The first government school was in 1928, only 9 years after the boys' school. We had the right to vote in 1934. Girls were sent abroad as early as the 1950s for the university education. To work, we have equal opportunities as men and equal pay as well. We participate in all aspects of working life. There are women ministers, ambassadors, pilots, teachers, doctors, taxi drivers, you name it, Bahraini women do it. The Supreme Council for Women was established in 2001 and is chaired by Her Royal Highness, Princess Sabicha bint Ibrahim Al Khalifa, who is wife of His Majesty the King. Its objective is women empowerment, promoting women's rights, and ensuring their full participation in society. It provides training for women seeking to run for office, and in 2018 elections, 6 women were elected, and the Speaker of the Council of Representatives is a woman. It's basically 40 people in the lower house. There's also now 4 women who are appointed in the municipality councils. In 2017, the King ratified the Personal Status Law, which, although currently is only applied to the Sunni chamber of the Islamic Court, the law encompasses the family laws such as marriage, divorce, and the custody of children. It also pays particular attention to the subject of children of Bahraini women who are married to foreigners and seeks to improve their situation through its contribution to taking necessary measures to access the basic services available to citizens. Bahrain is a country whose history is a meeting place for trade between empires, and our exposure to a wide variety of cultures has bred an atmosphere of coexistence that is uncommon in the corner of the world. Although Bahrain is a Muslim country, Christians, Jews, Hindus, Buddhists, and Baha'i enjoy full freedom of worship. Today, next to mosques, Bahrain has 19 registered churches, a synagogue, Hindu temples, and many other places of worship. And like many other countries in the region, these houses of worship are out in the community. Petra already mentioned that I'm from the Jewish community, but she didn't tell you how small the Jewish community is. We are 34 people, and I am related to them either from my father's side or my mother's side. My experience as being female is that we can actually, like Zia said, we can see what the challenges are. We take what we have at home and we take it out. We are multitasking, and we are able to do things better in a lot of instances. We know what the requirements are for women, what they are looking for, what they're looking to achieve. So when I was in the Bahrain Human Rights Watch Society, one of my main things was actually working with women's rights, children's rights, and domestic workers. And basically it was getting the getting nationality given to women who are foreigners, Bahraini women who are married to foreigners. It was a very difficult. I am one of them, and my children now have Bahraini citizenship. Mm-hmm. So that was one of the things that we worked on. We also worked on the custody laws of the personal status law. We also worked that in the society. We know what the challenges are, and we know how to basically what we need to do and how to get it out. So that's my role with
Okay, thank you, Huda. That was a lot we have seen in a short time from Bahrain. Thank you. Laila, what is your experience with the female peacemaking in Iraq?
Yeah. Usually I don't talk about my experience when I was younger, but this whole big family deserved to share some of my experience and how I turned to be from young graduate from engineering school, age 21, 22, later to be a peace builder and to involve in politics and human rights later on. So you deserve that fully. I was in engineering school when I refused to join the Ba'ath Party during Saddam regime era. I lost my brother being executed in 1976 before I go to engineering school, because also he refused the dictatorship and the oppressed regime. And then I saw how hard for my family became the life being categorized as opposition family. And then I went to engineering school being a very young lady who's stubborn and don't want to join this party, this dictatorship. So thanks God, I graduated from school, but I was questioned every couple of weeks, asked about every detail of my life. End up, I graduate in age 23, being arrested by the regime, tortured, detained for 6 months, then sentenced for life in prison. I served 11 years in prison. Please don't ask me how old I am now. That's unacceptable. Served 11 years till 91, when the invasion of Kuwait, the stupidity of Saddam, and the international community, Amnesty International, put a condition to keep Saddam in power. He released some prisoners of thought. I was one lucky woman that's still alive. 25 of my dearest friends being executed. Dentists, engineers, farmers, housekeeper, different, mostly majority Shia and Kurds. But yes, as I said, the boutique of flower affected by the dictatorship. So yes, there are some Sunni. My friend in the prison was Yazidi, the only Yazidi woman in the prison. So I got released in 91, late 91, but Saddam was still in power. So I've been questioned every 2 weeks. Thanks God, my family was very supportive. They were very proud of me in a society where they don't take this as an honor to be stubborn, to be outspoken girl, but they were very supportive. Thank you for them. Even I lost them. I lost my mother while I was in prison. I lost my dad later on after I got released. So they support me to get outside of the country to Beirut. I joined my brother. He passed away as well. And then I flew to Canada because I have nowhere else to go. So I was in Canada, and it became my second country. I breathed the freedom there, but that doesn't make me forget about the 25, at least, the women I witnessed, that they've been taken from the prison to be executed. It was my obligation to make their voice heard. Let me tell you, when I'm looking now to this big hall, and I see and I could know that my voice now be heard by all of you. I remember back then, when at the time when woman by woman being taken to be executed, we go to a hole in the wall of the prison, looking if I could see anyone to tell him about what's happening behind the bars. So this gives me stability to work for human rights. And in Canada, as the bishop mentioned, that me and my brother, he also was fleeing from the regime, we issued a newspaper, community newspaper, to reveal, because Saddam was still in power, to reveal what his policies, what his dictatorship affecting the families and women and all society. Then after the fall of the regime in 2003, I was in IBM working as an engineer because I upgraded my skill. I worked for almost 10 years in Canada. And I outreached for Amnesty International to speak about Saddam, and that made me not able to communicate with my family. 17 years, I can't reach them, I can't talk to them, I can't telephone them because I'm afraid they will be affected. But that doesn't make me keep quiet and still. I keep reveal the dictatorship of that regime. And after the fall of the regime, I came back with the will that I have to do something to my society and women in specific. So I came back, I get elected in the first parliament in 2006. I was a former parliament member, and then I get again in 2014 in the parliament for 1 year. And I work in NGOs in Al-Hakim Foundation. I worked hard to make sure that women not just in NGO or just exist, but they have to be represented by the population of women in my society. So guess what? From that era where we were striving to make our voice heard, Iraqi women now represent by quota 25% of the seat of the parliament. And here in this hall now, one of these parliamentarians, I don't know if she's here, Dr. Suad El-Waili, if she could stand, please, if she's here. Yes, she is a parliament member of this session. She is from the sacred city of Najaf, where the shrine of Imam Ali. So we have 25% of the seat in the parliament are women. Number two, from my perspective, that is not enough. Women have to be in the decision-making circles. And now in the party that I am in, an Al-Hikmah movement led by one of the religious descendants, Sayyid Ammar al-Hakim, we apply that women have to be in the political bureau, in the parties, have to be also 25%. So now in Al-Hikmah movement, out of 25 elected members in the political bureau, there are 6 women. I am one of the elected members. Because if women not in the decision-making circles, they can't outreach their voices to the parliament or to the government. So they have to be in the politics as well, 25%, in order to let their issues and their suffering be heard. Women in Iraq now, from different diversity, they are represented in the parliament, they are in the government. It's not till our ambition, no, we want to be like more post for women. And my message from my experience to all women, which I want to share here, no matter what the hardship, that's what I learned from the hardship that I've been through from my young age. No matter what the hardship is, guess what? All the prophets of all religion, their life wasn't easy. I'll talk about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. His life was very hard. He born and right away he lost his mom, Later on, he lost his dad. He's orphan, and he have to struggle. Moses, Jesus, also their life was hard. Hardship strengthening our will. That's what I believe in. I always quote, the hardship make the person beaten in body. I mean beaten, but the hardship. Beaten in body, but unbroken in spirit at all. So, hey, women from all around the world, our suffering will not stop because we are in this life to suffer. But from the suffering, we could make good life and our ambition and dreams get true. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for this very deep and personal and as well political sharing here on the panel. And before we will open to the plenary, I have one last question to ask you as the experts. What could we do that more women become peacemaker on the personal level as well as on the level of an organization like this? What can we do? What can I do? And what can we do together structurally to build more female power, to achieve really peacemaking of women in the world? Who would want to start, please?
خليني في البداية بعد لما سمعنا هذه التجارب إننا لابد إنه الحضور في هذه الصالة يحيي المرأة العربية. من فضلكم تحية خاصة للمرأة العربية، لأنه الحقيقة إحنا كنا دايماً عندنا الستيريوتايب أوف إنه المرأة العربية هي يا إما ربة منزل يا إما قاعدة في بيتها بتشتغل بتربي الولاد. إنما متهيألي هذه المنصة وضحت لي الحضور إذا كانت برلمانية أو سفيرة أو ناشطة أو وزيرة، إزاي إنه المرأة العربية في منطقة الشرق الأوسط والمنطقة العربية بشكل عام بتشتغل وبتعمل لصالح بلدها، بتتسجن وبتكافح وبتضحي من أجل أسرتها، بتتولى منصب سفيرة، بتتولى التشريع في القوانين اللي بتمس حياة المرأة. بالتأكيد أنا فخورة كوزيرة مصرية إن أنا أكون موجودة، وأيضا يعني بحضور المودريتور بيشوب بيترا أنا فخورة إن أنا قاعدة ما بين هؤلاء السيدات اللي بيدوا هذه الصورة لحضراتكم.
وإحنا فخورة بيك.
ميرسي. إزاي إحنا نقدر إن إحنا نغير؟ بالتأكيد إحنا داخل كل وظيفة لينا وداخل كل مجتمع نقدر إن إحنا نغير الصورة. خلوني أتكلم عن تجربتي كوزيرة في الدولة المصرية. أنا عايزة أقول لحضراتكم حاجة، إنه أنا لما بيتم تعريفي من قبل السيد رئيس الجمهورية لأي ضيف أجنبي بيتم تعريفي بالوزيرة المصرية وليست الوزيرة القبطية، وده معناه إن هناك إيمان من الدولة المصرية إن كل المصريين على خط سواء. دور الأزهر الشريف في وثيقة الأخوة الإنسانية اللي وقعها فضيلة الإمام الأكبر مع قداسة البابا فرانسيس بابا روما بتتكلم عن المرأة. في بند في هذه الوثيقة بيتكلم عن دور المرأة، إزاي المرأة من حقها التعليم، العمل، الحفاظ على حقوقها السياسية، وأيضا رفع الضغوط الاجتماعية من على كاتفها حتى تتفاعل مع المجتمع. زي ما زميلتي السفيرة هدى كلمت عن المجلس القومي للمرأة في البحرين، أيضا دكتورة مايا مرسي رئيسة المجلس القومي المصري عملت مبادرة جميلة جدا. حضراتكم عارفين إن احنا عندنا في المنطقة الكثير من المشاكل والكثير من التحديات، إنما قدر المجلس القومي للمرأة إن هو يتدخل في هذه المشاكل والتحديات بالخوض في منطقة الصعيد في مصر بمشاركة وزارة الأوقاف والكنائس المصرية الثلاث، وبيشرفني وجود دكتور أندريا زكي رئيس الطائفة الإنجيلية في مصر. الثلاث كنائس الأرثوذكسية الكاثوليكية البروتستانتية اشتغلوا مع بعض في مبادرة اسمها معا من أجل خدمة الوطن. الداعيات، الواعظات، المكرسات في الكنائس، مسلمات ومسيحيات بيشتغلوا مع بعض وبينزلوا الربوع والكفور والقرى. بنتكلم عن حب الآخر وقبول الآخر والتعددية الفكرية والسلام المجتمعي حتى نتمكن من استعادة هذه الروح اللي طول عمر مصر كانت بتمر بيها. بالتأكيد برجع تاني لدور الأزهر وبنتكلم عن تجريمه للتحرش الجنسي، تجريمه للزواج المبكر للسيدات. إن شاء الله في سنة 2020 يعني الأزهر سينظم المؤتمر الأول العالمي لمواجهة التحديات اللي بتواجهها المرأة بشكل عام. فإذا لما يبقى جهود الدولة كلها وجهود المؤسسات الدينية ووجود وزيرات و95 نائبة برلمانية داخل البرلمان المصري، وبتعديل الدستور المصري الجديد في 25% إضافة لمقاعد السيدات، كل ده بيخلينا إحنا كسيدات ندي زي ما بنقول بالفرنساوي le bon exemple إن إحنا ندي الصورة المضيئة للمرأة المصرية بالتفاعل مع كل أطياف المجتمع حتى نتمكن من تعضيد جهود الدولة في استقرار الوطن، وطبعا التثمين بدور مكانة المرأة المصرية في المنطقة وخاصة مصر. شكرا جزيلا.
Thank you.
So, what to do to promote the role of women as peace builders? First of all, let me start from here. Start from Religions for Peace Network. And giving examples and role model. We have 2 female co-moderators, Honorable Vino Aram and Reverend Kosho Niwano. And these 2 ladies are examples of religious leaders and women leaders in their society. And we have in this room many ladies from Africa, from Asia, from America, South America, from Arab world, from Europe, who are religious leaders, bishops, priestess, academician, theologian. These women, Dr. Venley, they must be shown, they must be visible in this event and all over our events. Because in giving them visibility, the message we convey together, we transmit together to the world, is that women in religions are not just followers or transmitter of values. And yes, it's our right to follow faith, to transmit, but they are also actors of their destiny. They are agent of peace. They are mediator. They can interpret and explain the text of their religion, and they can criticize some religious, let's say, visions and attitudes that are not just to them, because God, in all religions, and let me start by my religion, He is addressing us as He is addressing man. He is speaking to al-mu'minin wal-mu'minat, to men believers and women believers. He is telling us it's our duty to be in solidarity with all believers. How? To ordain what is good and forbid what is bad. Knowledge is good, ignorance is bad. Women has to acquire religious knowledge. Speaking for justice, speaking for rights is good, and keeping silence is bad. So women have to speak of rights, their rights, the rights of others, of minorities. Dialogue is good. God conversed with us. And dialogue. So being in interfaith dialogue is good for women. Bridging between communities, between men and women, between ideas is good. This is, I think, the example. This is how. So I want Religions for Peace as one of the worldwide network structure gathering faith communities to act together for the common good, to promote, to increase women presence and also women place. Dr. Vandy, this is what we want. So, in our Women Pre-Assembly, we have chosen 10 women from different regions and religions to represent us. And we hope that in the World Council, we will see more women. This is the first, let's say, step. Second step, and I'll say also tell Madame la Ministre, Madame l'Ambassadrice, all those who are present here who have a responsibility in their society. Women in general, and women, let's say, who recognize themselves as women of faith, shall have a role in public life.
Thank you.
Shall be in the places where decisions are made to impact their life and the life of the society in general. From my experience with Tunisian women, I think Tunisian women are really, sincerely, one of the main agents of change in my country. I noticed that these women, whatever are the differences between them politically, ideologically, they unite together, first of all, to propose the highest level of rights and liberties in Tunisia. They fought really harshly that our constitution has the best chapter in rights and liberties, all kinds of liberties and without any prior limitation. This is first. Second, they spoke about childhood, disabled persons, youth, and minorities. So they work together to empower the powerless. And this is very important. Women, we have to empower each other and to empower all the society and to be in public life, even if it is not easy. Very often it is very difficult, but this is our role. So, and to remember always that having a faith is a liberty, is a right, but it is also a responsibility and a duty. Because what is the use, what is the good for the other to see Maharzia as a Muslim? Only in the relation to the other. Only to the relation. In all our religions, we have, in Muslim we say ayah or hadith, or maybe a say, or a verse from a Bible, etc., a verse from Torah, that say into us that we are the best. In Islam, we say, خَيْرَ أُمَّةٍ أُخْرِجَتْ لِلنَّاسِ. The best. Why? Yesterday, many honorable imams spoke in the Muslim caucus and remind us of a very important thing. We are not khayra ummah, the best of the ummah, just because we are the best. No, but there is a condition. If we do good, if we are good in our relation to the other, if we witness of the high values of our religion. So this call is not only to men, this call is to men and to women. So we have to be actors in faith, in our faith, in public life, and we have to be leaders in this structure of interfaith of common good. This is how. Thank you.
Thank you.
We We might, Dr. Wendley, do petition to impose quota for the General Assembly.
Such an important man.
For the woman percentage of participation. I hope you don't regret you put us on the stage today. Let me share one of the things as a woman of faith, like not a politician, but woman of faith. One of the important things, Dr. Wendley, a while ago, I mean, when we work as a partner on New York, Al-Hakim Foundation, we talk about, I think we have to repeat that again, the importance of the enrollment of the religious leaders in our society. I think violence, it's a globalized phenomenon now, and all our society suffers from that. So we have, because it's a globalized phenomenon, I'm talking, for example, about violence against women, we need to globalize the tools and mechanisms. One of that tools is to bring the role of religious leader. We can't ignore that. That's number one. And also we have in our society, each different religion have a model which we need to bring it to the surface to affect our generation. And I give an example of that, not to take so much time. One of the example in Iraq, for example, after 2003, we figure out like the violence against women, it's not just in our society, in all societies. And we have to deal with it in a way which is to activate the principles, the teachings of Islam, because Iraq is a Muslim country. So yes, Islam have rights for women, and it's very nice, very beauty, very like the dignity of women protected in Islam. But what about the communities that don't have the knowledge about that teaching, that fundamentals? Here we need the role of religious leader to bring that teaching to the surface. And from there, in 2009, Dr. Wendley, when we work in New York, we bring the initiative of, we said, yes, there is International Women Day, International Day for Anti-Violence Against Women, 16 days, which is for participation and for activities. But what about each different community bring the values of their religion? And we thought in our religion to bring example of violence committed against one of the symbols of our religion. So we bring the initiative in 2009, which is Islamic Day for Anti-Violence Against Women, to activate the teaching of Islam to combat that phenomena in our society. And we dig in our history, we find that the first woman in Islam which exposed to a very harsh situation and violence is the granddaughter of Prophet Muhammad, which we call Bibi Zainab, peace be upon her. In 61, in the Islamic calendar, 1400 years ago, she's been taken as a prisoner of war. Her brother, Imam Hussein, peace be upon him, her sons, her nephews, all the family, 72. The men all get beheaded. The heads raised by a sword, and she and the children taken as a prisoner of war from Karbala to Syria. Guess what? She's been taken by camel for 10 days. The day where she reached the place of the ruler is 1st of Safar in Islamic calendar, which is almost 2 months from now. We said, why we don't take this day as a symbol, as a day for Islamic Day for anti-violence against women? Why? You will say why. I will say because the majority of my country, they go and do memorization for that day, and they cry for that event. So we say that guy, that man who come to this memorization event and beat his chest, and his tears come in his eye for Zainab, who he admired, when he will go with this spirit to the home, he will refuse to commit violence against his sister, his wife, his daughter, or he will not accept the violence within his community. And let me tell you, after 1400 years, when Daesh came to Iraq, we invited, in Al-Hakim Foundation, we invited one of the AZD leaders, Vian Dakhil. She is one of the parliamentarians. You know, Daesh, when come to Iraq, they take the Yazidis as a prisoner of war. They killed the men. They took the young girls as sabaya. And when we invited Vian Dakhil to the celebration of 1st of Safar, to the conference every year we done in our place in the foundation, she was on the stage. And I was amazed how history is returning back if we don't do something, take action. Because what she said, I'm quoting Vian Dakhil, she said, I didn't know that. I didn't know Bibi Zainab, the granddaughter of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, when they took her prisoner of war from Karbala, they went to Sanjar, where the Yazidis community. And there is a shrine in Sanjar for Bibi Zainab. The Yazidis pay tribute to that place. So when Daesh came, they took the prisoner of war, the Yazidis, from Sanjar, from the same place where Bibi Zainab been taken, and they took them again to Syria. So she said, history repeating itself if we don't take action against what's happening in the name of Islam. And that brings me to the next point, which is teaching of our religion. Because most of the crimes committed, it's by mistranslation or interpretation of Islam. Daesh committed a terrible crime by the name of Islam. So it's very important, Dr. Bentley, again, to bring the values of our religion to the surface to prevent what's happening in our society. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Huda, you are the last one, but we want to hear. What can we do?
This year, I think the Religions for Peace is the first time that they've included the youth into the sessions. I think including the youth is very good, because this is where we need to start. We need to start with the next generations and give them the ability to come out and start taking and learning from what our experiences are. So we as women here, we can be mentors, we can help the younger generation to come out and to take over eventually. So I think we need to get the youth involved more in this.
Thank you. It's too interesting and it's too much passion here, so the time is running, but I would like maybe to hear 3 of you in the plenary and open now to hear your remarks or your opinions. There are mics in the room, maybe 3 people going to the mics, and please ask your questions later to this interesting women. Please go to the mics. The first 3 will be the people making a remark or a comment. And then we have, I'm sorry, we have to close because the time will be over. Please go to the mics and then 3 or 4 people. Please, who would you like to start?
I'll just say very quickly, friends. In the Baha'i teachings, we believe that men need to champion the equality of women and men because the glory that could be theirs will never be achievable until women's voices are truly heard. So I'd like to ask all the men in the room to champion the cause of women. That means if there's a chance for you to talk or a woman to talk, give the venue to the woman. Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Kauthar from Zanzibar Island, Tanzania. I'm just joined with all ladies and all leaders here to say that the voice of women is a capital to invest in the peace and security for the whole or for the worldwide. Because in our island Zanzibar, we do have not war or conflict, but we have very, very big and huge challenges on discrimination of child abuse. Our baby girls are raped, and our baby boys are sodomized. And the one who do that is men. So the only voice that can make change and that are fighting against that discrimination are women. So I just invite, maybe through this 10th World Assembly will be the solution to come together, to do the solidarity on reducing the problem or the challenges which are faces in Zanzibar for our children. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And please, the third mic, this one there.
So, hello. First of all, thank you very much. I'm very inspired by the panel. I'm Lawrence from Singapore. I've been involved in Religions for Peace since 2005. My question is, in this room and in Religions for Peace, I think this is a room that we can say is very much open for inclusion and openness. This is a room of the converted. But our biggest challenge is that, and we see that there's a rising tide of women in leadership. A lot of the Fortune 500 companies are already appointing women CEOs. So we have another problem. We have a growing group of men who are feeling that they are being left out. They will not be included in the new age of women, which is becoming a reality. So how do we, in this room, the men and women, have the difficult conversation with this man to say that, look, it's going to be a better world with women in equal positions of power, rather than talking about women leadership as a right. So I think the difficult question is, and I'd like to hear your views, is how do we have those difficult and important conversations about the men feeling left out, and these men are leading extremist organizations and movements to ensure that women never rise to power. Yeah.
Thank you. And one last opinion. Sorry, I'm so sorry, but the time is really too short for so many interesting people. Please, this one will be the last.
I'm from China, so I speak Chinese, so Ping translator. 我想要问的是主持人，就是整个社会大概是从家庭教育、学校教育和社会教育和宗教教育4个部分。这4个部分它的根本，教育是哪一个教育最重要？然后这个最重要的教育当中的根本又在哪里？想要请教一下。
Okay, Mr. Wu is from China.
She will do it.
Very quickly interpret that. There are 4 ways of education, from family, school, society, and religion. And which one plays the fundamental role of the 4? So that's the question to the, to you, the moderator. Yes?
Okay. Maybe it is possible to ask the questions directly after this panel, because we cannot open it again. Sorry for that, but it's so important to hear these questions, and please. you should use the chance to speak to the women after that. I'm so sorry seeing you standing there, but there is no possibility to do it now. So for my task, I would like to ask you now one final question. And I know you are very eloquent, ladies, but I would like to have only one sentence as an answer from you. What is your personal message to the Assembly of Religions for Peace? Now we will start here.
Okay. I will just give a quote from one of my role models, Margaret Thatcher. And what she said was, if you want something said, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman.
Thank you, Huda, thank you.
And my message is for the Assembly and for women in specific. Rights are taken and not given. Thank you.
Thank you. Laila, thank you so much. Nabila.
طيب رسالتي أولاً بمناسبة Religions for Peace عايزة أوجه بس مسج إنه الإرهاب لا دين له. وزي ما زميلتي من العراق على المنصة قالت إنه بيتم تحوير المفاهيم الدينية، عشان كده بنوصل لمرحلة الإرهاب والتحديات اللي الدولة أو الدول كلها بتمر بيها. عشان كده Religions for Peace بيؤكد إنه الإرهاب لا دين له، وأن الدين يجمع لا يفرق، وإنه فعلا الدين المعاملة. شكرا جزيلا.
Thank you, Nabila.
My message to this Honorable Assembly, I wanted to concern MENA region. Yes, there is conflicts, there is suffering, refugees, bloodshed in MENA region. But in MENA region we have women, youth, men and women who are firmly decided to build peace again. Some of them are here in this room, and I want to greet them, men and women, and especially women, MENA region. We are training ourselves, we are connecting ourselves to spread peace, to sustain it, and to recreate hope.
Thank you, Marcia. Dear audience, at the end of this special session, I would like to thank all of you that you are here for your short comments, for your listening, and for all your engagement in peace building. I hope that you all support women as peacemakers wherever you meet them and wherever the situation needs people of faith, women and men, to overcome violence and to work on stable and harmonious societies. The women on this panel this morning are certainly excellent role models of how that can work, and I appreciate their doing and their action very much. So I would like to give a special thank at the end to our special guests here, and I would like to do it together with you. Please.